Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day one here at CWL Fort Worth. Benson and Chance to guide you through the action on the next game on the main stage. Boy, oh boy, is it going to be a good one. E-Classico, Optic Gaming, Team Envious. Chance, I've been doing this a while. I've casted a fair amount of these, and let me tell you, I have a feeling this one is going to be special. This could be a very, very good series, and here's why. Optic 0-1 in pools, Envy 1-0, two very different feels. But think back to Champs last year. There was a match which involved many of these players to decide who progressed through to Nationwide Arena. And we find ourselves in almost a similar position here. Optic 0-2 in pools, likely they go into losers bracket.
So it's not at the end, but it could very well be the case. And then anyone that ends up in the losers bracket at this tournament, it doesn't matter who they are, it's an incredibly dangerous place to be. Like the team that's supposed to be at the bottom are looking fantastic. The roster moves come in for different teams, and it's almost to the point of just pure chaos. And if you had told me 4 hours ago that I was expecting this to be a hyper-competitive matchup, I wouldn't believe you. I thought OG had a massive advantage, but Envy looked to be on fire, and Optic Gaming, obviously, they fell a little bit short. So I don't know, Ben, I think you might be right. This is gonna be a series we have on our hands.
For Envy, they come off a 3-0 victory against E United, where they looked fantastic. For Optic Gaming, it was a Game 5 loss against Reciprocity, where they left a lot to be desired. Crim6 had a great series, a fantastic series. Scump, a little slow, and that's something against Envy now you cannot afford to be. I don't know who's going to work out with this win, but I think it may go Game 5. We've had so many Game 5s already. Hell, why not another one?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Ben. We saw triple gridlock to start it off with, and if you look down the board for each of these teams, 4 to the 3 gridlocks, advantage every time goes the way of Envy, which catches me off guard. But for the hard point, it's 5-2 Envy, 3-2 Optic. So not by a massive amount, but noticeable. You go into the surge, 4-3 versus 2-1, which again, not by a massive amount, but they're right on the edge. And then in the control, 7-3 for Envy, 6-4 for Optic. And then of course, some of these losses I'm sure came when they were playing with a substitute player. But nonetheless, these are maps that Envy are very happy to get through.
No, very, very interesting. Good stats. And for me, I think the key here is going to be Scump. Every other player in this series, I don't really mind. You know, their performance is going to be what you expect. For me, Scump had a very slow first series, and he is a player who you know will turn things around. He just has that raw talent, if nothing else. He's obviously been running a completely different role whilst they've been playing with a substitute in the league, but now here he is, Fort Worth. You need the best from that young man to really come through, and I don't want to necessarily use the word save Optic's group, but right now, Chance, it's not looking good.
It's definitely looking desperate because, of course, the last team that Optic has to play is going to be E United. So it doesn't really get easier. So it is very close, if not already here, to the back against the wall scenario. But if you're thinking about Scump needing to step up, think about the team as a whole for Envy. Assault and Apathy are right there. So if you even want to just focus on the SOG battle of Scump versus Apathy, perfectly legitimate. Because everyone knows for Envy, the past has been that Silly and Hoop have been the hard carries for the team. And I think even in their first series against E United, like game 1, Silly goes like 41-19 right out of the gate. So they are not playing slow at all. And Envy look better as a team. The guys that have been on point have continued to be on point, and Apathy looked quite a bit better as well.
And that was the key with Team Envious, right? The past few weeks, the conversation has been, we know what we're going to get from Hook. We see it week in, week out. The guy is just so talented. But when is the rest of the team going to step up to the plate? You saw it a lot with Silly. Credit to him and his performances recently. They've been truly tremendous. But everyone else was kind of leaving a little bit to be desired. Now, I think you're truly seeing this Envy squad start to click, which is scary. Very, very scary, because you know, you talk about world champs and rings and whatnot. Well, this main stage, there's a lot of rings on this stage right now.
Just across the board, all over the place. A couple have 2, a couple have even more, and by a couple, I mean it's just karma sitting on top of the world. But I don't know, even if you want to talk about champs, I don't know who was making the graphics, but like the head-to-head matchups of like Crim6 versus Aches, the former teammates, who's got the edge. And Crim, of course, at this point has many more tournament wins, but at the same time, that head-to-head matchup, man, Patty P, he finds a way to make things interesting, Ben.
Some call him the Optic Gaming Slayer. Apathy's been called that as well. But all that doesn't matter, because right now you have a best-of-5 series to save Optic Gaming's group stage, and for Envious to go 2-0, you can almost guarantee them going through. Of course, there is potential for tiebreakers and whatnot, but we'll get to that if it comes down to it. Hardpoint Gridlock, map number 1. E-Classicos never disappoint, and I have a feeling, Chance, neither will this one. For Hook, you expect great things almost every single time you watch him play, and there's an interesting stat for you.
I mean, another interesting thing, not only the #1 song, KD and a hard point, but a lot of people talking of who are the most talented players in the game. It is Hook and Dashi that people always say have the highest skill ceiling, and well, we get that battle as well.
Shout out to this Fort Worth crowd. You guys have been fantastic here on Friday. I imagine you're going to be making a fair amount of noise in this one as well, as Optic Gaming finally break into the hill. And now they can try and get themselves some early points on the scoreboard. It's Silly that loses the gunfight though, and with 30 seconds left, keep your eye on that minimap, top left of your screen. You're going to want to see that top right controlled. As Envy off spawn, they're deciding no, they just want to follow in towards the hill and just keep it contested.
Yeah, quite a bit of contest time coming in. Envy, though, eventually able to break through, and they get 4 down as well. Should be able to retake the lead, and more importantly, Optic Gaming, 1 player already spawned out. If more OG players fall, it could be bad news, because you can already see 18 control over towards the next hill. That is a lot of blue arrows nearby, and you see Optic Gaming, they had to spawn out. Envy trying to win the rotation. Scump, though, able to find 2 big kills.
Remember what I said? He's the type of player to turn his performances around. A 5-1 start for Optic Gaming Scump, and he's already in the new hill as he turns. Oh, don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Not like that. Hill controlled by Team Envious. Optic still looking to try and break through. It's going to be Dashi's turn now on the front line for Optic. First to the fight, player in 18. Needs to be careful he doesn't team kill and does just that, but is at least able to trade out his teammate. Envy still in the hill though, and this lead by no means a big one, as finally Envy get a little bit of control here, Chanson. That final 30 seconds, if you're Optic Gaming, you're almost forced to maybe have one last push, but you have to make sure you rotate. You need to control that new hill.
I mean, you do have to go for it as well. You got TJ that's able to go through Ice Cream. That means Envy has to focus on a lot of different directions. Still inside the hill, though. 15 seconds left, and even if they don't get it, which TJ eventually is able to clear base, it does make that rotation tough. 2 players already nearby for Envy. Over next.
Apathy won a pretty important gunfight there on Calmer in the new hill, but it was traded out very quickly by Scump. As Krim ready and waiting. They know they have 2 Envy players pinned in. Assault wins his gunfight. Is Ace going to win his? Nope, absolutely not. But Krim has a wall of Envious players flooding towards him, and Envy do have to hold the new hill for now, at least. How much damage can Assault do? Not enough. TJ able to find that pick, and keep your eye on TJ. Close to some streaks here, 120. He's able to find that kill. It will give him the lightning. Slides in. He was just 25 points away from the Hellstorm, but that lightning could be crucial when you think about that first hill.
I mean, yeah, just a free couple kills, free clearance to get control, but even on this one, very scrappy, back and forth. It seems kind of consistent of Envy. Great job of winning the rotations. Optic eventually does break through, and this is probably the time where they get the most points on board. Ake's going to be by himself. He challenges out to see if he can do anything crazy. That is not the case, and Envy says, all right, we're going to back off. Keep these back spawns, and they got a ton of pressure. 2 guys watching mid-map, 2 guys watching the push for Mold, and well, 1 guy's watching front, but Silly just gonna do it all himself. He's able to find 3.
Silly with the triple, and the saving grace there was, yes, you give up a lot of time. Maybe your team Envious, but you did very well to hold the spawns, and you were trying to pin Optic Gaming inside Showers. As Assault mid-map, he's gonna have a couple pushes off to try to rotate out from the back, but you have the assistance there of Hook. Ake's helping out as well. A good early hold here from Team Envious as once again they build themselves a lead.
And this is brutal right now. Optic Gaming spawning so far out, and they got to deal with Assault, who is having phenomenal game so far, 15-6. Is already able to get that Tempest on board, which frankly, the sooner you use it, the better. If he uses it in the next 30-40 seconds, he's going to get a second one, but he might not need it. More kills in the feed with him with that ICR. Ace is able to find 2. Optic Gaming spawning on the other side of the map, running halfway there, getting killed once again, and then you just rinse and repeat. Envy has a massive lead on board.
And that was a perfect hold from Team Envious. They left 1 player in the hill, everybody else pushed out. They watched all of the chokes, and they won all of the gunfights, and because of that, as we rotate into our second rotation of hills, Team Envious now 115 to Optic Gaming's 59. Bear in mind, TJ still does have the streak as Hook flies through. That's a triple for him, but you're going to have to see TJ invest the lightning. But it's going to be interesting because Hook at 160 away from streaks of his own. If he falls here because of the lightning, that could potentially be the end of course, the streak. I'm amazed we haven't seen it yet, Chance.
I mean, if you feed him streaks, that's just end of it. 20 points, though, he does get taken down, which is huge. No idea why TJ didn't want to burn the lightning strike, but hey, they do it with guns. Scump is able to pick up 4 along the way, so now he's only 185 off the streaks of his own. They just don't need lightnings, Ben. They just don't need it.
Apparently they do it all with the gun, the old-fashioned way. There's 20 seconds left on the first hill. Crowd starting to rally behind Optic Gaming, but is it going to be enough? As once again, a late push from Ake sees a double kill. The final 15 should be good for Envy. It's all about the rotational fights as TJ wins the first. course, this was the hill, if you remember, in the first rotation, Envy held almost perfectly. And they built themselves a very, very big lead. Karma still with a grab slam, able to use. We saw Rook invest his in the last hill. As Karma controls the 18 so well. Finds the easy pick, and Optic still with a hill contested. Grab slam comes through, but a team kill in amongst that. Means Envy with a good chance here, maybe just trying to break. Karma still one shot. Silly gets a double. Envy retake control of the hill.
And another thing that happened there is Hook goes on a flank. He's able to find one. He doesn't get sniffed out quick enough. And now I got the War Machine at the front of the hill. Who has flak? Not the first two players. Everyone else has to stop. The Tempest comes out as well. And keep in mind, using 2 to get this points is great. 25 seconds, that's all going to go the way of Envy. And more importantly, they might still be able to get those again. Like Assault, nearly halfway to his next Tempest already.
And think about the lead you're going to have as well here, Chance. 100 points by the time we rotate over towards Showers. You still have TJ with a streak. But now the question is, when are you going to see him invest it? Because you're running out of time. If Envy hold the next hill after Showers as well as they did, the final hill, honestly, you might not even see another first hill.
I mean, this is just getting brutal at this point. Optic Gaming, they're going to need to string a couple hills together and going to have to be perfect with it. But they're trying to hang on over here by a tree. No one's even inside the hill for them getting any of this time. So while it's super scrappy, it's Envy that's able to break through. Dashy gets 2 chains. The kills have not quite come in yet. Trying to shut him down. More chains come in. Is able to find, connects with the hip fire for the third. And Optic Gaming finally able to get some time on board.
I'm telling you, no one told him about the Tempest nerf. No one, because he just consistently hits shots like that in high pressure situations. The problem though, still for Optic Gaming, down 100 points. And this was the hill they struggled in so much in the first rotation. You need to shut down Assault, and Dashy will do just that.
And you talk about their ability to chain hills together. Keep in mind, never use that lightning strike, so once it goes back to open, there is hope. But Envy doing a fantastic job rotating over, getting a lot of pressure from the front side of the hill, but still Optic Gaming spawning at the back. But either way, it's not a massive advantage for them to have. They still got to win another set of gunfights.
And Dashy has played his situation almost perfectly. He's been able to trade out his teammates' lives while staying alive, blocking the spawn, forcing Envy to come to them. But Envy is still in the hill. Bear that in mind. That's a key gunfight, which Dashy does win. Unfortunately for him, he's traded out. TJ goes down as well. App walks straight through the front door. Envy with hill control, Envy with spawn control. And Envy can put themselves now 10 points away from closing out map number 1.
And Optic just put so much pressure inside the hill that they didn't block those back spawns. So I think if a Scump ended up spawning out, then it becomes a foot race. And if you don't win the gunfights, then everybody spawns out. And that's exactly what happened. So massive gunfights going the way of Envy, more than 100-point lead. Ben, you're feeling pretty good if you're an Envy fan right now.
Well, at Vegas, it was Optic Gaming that made some miraculous comebacks in Hardpoint. This is going to be one of those where they need to do it again. 228 to 119 in favor of Envy. The final scrap time looks as if it's good for Optic Gaming. You have the lightning strike. Again, you need to invest this if you're TJ. I'm confused he didn't use it the first time. Now he has to use it. You don't have a choice. That's going to be dropped in the hill. That cleans out both players in the hill. And Optic should be able to get a little bit of control, but now this is where you have to do the next step. You have to slay out.
Well, you talk about a good thing for Optic right there. They take down the Vision Pulse from Silly as well, so it's a small victory, but they'll take it. But they're going to need 5 or 6 more small victories just to think about being able to win this game. But inside the hill, TJ going on the flank, has a couple kills in front of him, does get shut down, but his teammates are there to at least hold on. 30 seconds left on this next wave, Optic Gaming. Not only do they need to get the kills, they have to start pushing for those new spawns.
And you speak about the new spawns, the rotation fight is going to be huge. Apathy for Team Envy has the support of Silly, but he's actually found himself an Optic Gaming sandwich. Scump now left in a 1 versus 2. How much damage can he do? Well, that's a great start. Shuts down Silly. Now it's going to be one more player pushing. Scump's done such a good job, and Scump will keep Optic Gaming alive for now. But there's still plenty more to be done in this game as the envious players are flying straight towards him, forced to use Crash. Can he somehow keep these kills in rotation coming through? I think he has done, and that's just a marvelous play from Scump.
He's got to keep it going, though. You see the War Machine is in, and Eggs does take down himself, but now it's a foot race to the hill. Optic Gaming, they might be the first ones there, but Envy, they're going to have the closer spawns. They're there quicker. Dashy gets taken down immediately and 5 seconds away, and Envy has map 1.
Krim's going to have the vision pull straight off spawn. He doesn't have a choice. App slides through. It doesn't even matter. Optic not even going to get to the hill as Eggs gets up. The villain in Call of Duty esports for so many years, and he thrives on it. He loves this situation. Playing against fan favorites and shutting them down is something he has done consistently throughout his career.
And I mean, we talked about the SOG battle, wanting Appy to step it up, but it was Assault that had more than double the engagement, just led the lobby in slaying, had a phenomenal game, and that's about as dominating as you can get. Like Envy, obviously, haven't dropped the mat yet this tournament, super early on, don't get me wrong,
just a little.
They're looking incredible versus an Optic Gaming who, I mean, who knows what to think. This is the first time we've seen this team in, what, like 3 or 4 months?
There's a lot that needs to be adjusted, right? You're adjusting to, once again, having Dashy in the lineup. Scump's adjusting to going back to a sub role. You've seen him run the Maddox for, you know, their league game so far. There's a lot that they need to change and get back into those habits. A brand new patch, let's not forget. We know they were pre-landing. They have that practice. It's just about bringing that now to this event.
And of course, you talk about the pre-lane. The pre-lane is great for the respawns. Apparently doesn't pay off too well, at least in that map number 1. And then going into map number 2, well, I was gonna say maybe Envy with Bevels kind of took a lot of time to look at the strats from the other team on Gridlock, but again, it has been so long, maybe it does make a difference, and maybe Optic Gaming can feed off of information from what they spotted out from Envy back in the Pro League.
That's one thing we know is Envious are playing confident. Very, very confident, and that's something that we probably haven't seen in a fair amount of time. This level of confidence, that is, and you know, rightfully so. Some great performances so far. Yes, it's only day 1. Yes, we've only had 1 series under our belt, but if this is anything to go by, could be making a bit of a deep run. Here's a look at the series, though. Of course, Gridlock. Game 1 goes to the boys in blue. Optic Gaming going to have to try and bounce back in their Search and Destroys if the series does go further. A Hacienda Hardpoint and a Frequency Game 5 Search and Destroy.
I mean, again, we kind of already highlighted the Gridlocks pretty much all at least slightly lean the way of Envy. Even that map number 5, it's just a better map for Envy. They're 2-0 versus Optic's 2-3,
yep.
Which again isn't perfect because Optic played with the sub, but that means there's a lot of pressure on Optic, who may not even want to see that game number 5. That means you would have to win these next 3 in a row. And
right.
Good luck with an Envy that's on point like this.
And again, to really emphasize the importance of this series and why this is such an important series, Envious are set at 1-0 in pools, Optic Gaming at 0-1. Reciprocity, they're going to be playing United as well. Bear in mind, Reciprocity is 1-0. United didn't look good in their first series. If Rec and Envy win this, both of those teams are at 2-0. That means Optic Gaming is going straight into the losers bracket, and that means Ace has done it once again.
And again, anybody that ends up in that losers bracket,
it's hard. You don't want to be there, man.
It seems like it'd almost be more difficult than it has been in the past events, just because of how competitive every single team is. There's going to be killers down there. I think even in what, Pool A was it? Pool C with Pool C, Splice and LG, and they're not looking great, and the teams that are underneath them are actually doing impressive things. So crazy potential, but still a lot of Call of Duty left to play.
Oh, a lot of Call of Duty to play. As it stands, Envious 1-0 up. But I believe my good friend Guy Blaze is somewhere amongst the Dallas crowd. Guy, what's going on?
Hey guys, I'm Blaze and I'm here with Magni, and this is Talk About It presented by Jack in the Box. Magni, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Getting to watch some really good Call of Duty action. The Passion Pit, that's the open bracket, has been good. Been getting to watch some good pro teams play. It's just been outright amazing so far.
Magni, where you from?
I'm from Van, Texas, only a few hours away from here.
Oh, so this is like home court advantage. Now, what team are you here cheering for this weekend?
Cheering for Splice. There's just a few reasons, like their team chemistry's on point, accuracy. I've just always been a fan of him. Looney, like that team just seems to click. They arguably should have won Vegas.
Yeah, they should have. Now, also, Magni, tell me as well, who is your favorite player?
So this one kind of has a little bit of backstory to it. When I first got into COD last year, actually doing managing and coaching and stuff, I coached an AM team and Kismet was on that team. Just seeing him progress into getting on E6 now and making it through the Pro League and everything, it's cool to see a player that I knew from the start be able to do that. And so I have to, that has to be my favorite player. I have to give him that support. There's nobody else that I can undoubtedly say that is my favorite player.
Well, Magni, I hope you have a lot of fun cheering the crowd this weekend. I'll be out here cheering with you as well. But that's it for me and Magni. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Guy. Great to see Magni. Again, we're actually just talking about it. We see him at every single event.
He's the sign guy.
Awesome. Great to see you. Great to see you, Magni. And hopefully you enjoy the event, as I'm sure the Dallas crowd have been so far as well. But as it stands, Optic Gaming are reigning CWL champs, down 1-0 to Team Envious. Envy yet to drop a map so far. They 3-0 to United. They're 1-0 up here. We now head over to Search and Destroy. Same map we just saw, Chance. Any stats jump out to you?
Well, God, that's the problem. So going over the stats, when you look at Optic Gaming, it's everything you see. If you kind of want to take out the Pro League, just because, again, playing with the sub, the records are insane. It was Vegas 10-1 in the hardpoint, 7-2 in the Search and Destroy, and then 7-1 in Control. The best team in the game, potentially at literally everything. but now they've fallen in a couple of hard points. They lost the game 5 for the Search and Destroy, obviously against Reciprocity. At this point, Ben, I just don't know what to believe.
All right, well, round number 1. Hopefully we get our answers here. As it's going to be Ace sniping. We have had great conversations during the Pro League about his sniping talents, and he's been sure to let us know as well, just about how consistent he feels he is. Well, 0 for 1. Shots fired and shots landed. Not easy, slow peeking over towards B. As soon as he gives the get-go, all of Envy are going to fly over towards it, but Optic have done a pretty smart thing here, pushing all the way through A. They have Envy trapped in the back of the map, but you still have to win the fights.
Well, you know who's at the back of the map? Assault is trying to continue his progression from the hard point into the next one, who wins his second gunfight. I don't know if he's lost a single 1v1 gunfight this entire series.
You might be right, and that's pretty scary. Is now 5 versus 2. 5 versus 0. Envy played that perfectly. They waited for Optic Gaming to push through, and as soon as they did, they took all of the fights. Maybe a little bit of frustration coming through there in the signs of Optic Gaming.
I mean, that's almost like a control push, right? Like
yeah,
you're expecting
really
the team on offense to just flank all the way around, but they had the exact same setup. They run in control to deal with the pressure, and again, Assault just winning the one-on-one gunfights. Takes 2 down, doesn't take him much damage while it happens, and then Envy just returned the favor. Just completely swarmed on Optic Gaming, pounced at the opportunity they had.
Definitely been the Assault show so far. How long can he keep this up, though? And that, of course, the question. Just day 1 here at Fort Worth. Are we going to see Dashi with a sniper? Yes, we are. Dashi versus Aches. Who's your money on? Oh, swing and a miss from Dashi. Aches slowly peeking. Very, very slowly peeking. And Scump could be in some trouble here if he's not careful.
And this is interesting as well, because Optic Gaming putting a lot of pressure just on mid-map. They got 3 players inside. Karma, though, again, just going to fall, gives up the first blood. And, well, Optic Gaming, they're thinking about the plant. You don't want to put it down in a 3v5, because Hugh, with the frag grenade, is able to find Crim 6. Now the pressure's on Optic Gaming. Someone has to go huge with a clutch.
Problem was, you're already planting that bomb, and Aches actually does get a pick onto Dashi. Scump will at least give them a little bit of a lifeline, but he will fall. Now it's TJ, 1 versus 4. Has to try and shut down App, able to do so, but here comes the second challenge, and Hook is not going to let him survive that. And now if you're silly, you can hop up the bomb, you can do the calculations. Who needs the defuse? Who's closer to streaks? Of course, on the side of Optic Gaming, they will see all of that information, so they'll be able to track it a little more accurately now.
And continuously, the entire year, most frag kills in the game by a mile. Hook still doing it. Like,
helps
again,
when you're one of the only people to use it.
Yeah, there's maybe 2 teams. I think United pulled it out for like one single map, but yeah, he's on point with it, uses it in Search and Destroy quite a bit, and obviously you can see some success.
I mean, consistently. It's so much success that we always seem to talk about it.
And then, of course, on the flip side, if I'm Optic Gaming, you get first blooded, someone's planting the bomb. As soon as your teammate dies in the nade, you're not going to clutch a 3v5. Like, the odds are super low, and I just think you got to hop off the bomb, but they stick to plan. Aches wins the sniper battle against Dashi, and when that's happening, not a good sign for the green wall.
Well, speaking of Aches and sniper battles, we'll see the similar setup to what we had in that very first round. Dashi swing and a miss. Dashi swing and a miss. Dashi falls for first blood. Apathy will punish him. However, TJ could potentially put a stop to this push. Tries to slide out for the shot punch, not going to connect with it. Silly still has a play to his right-hand side. It's Scump who's scurrying away, but Silly takes some damage. Has to reach out, wins the gunfight anyway. Another 1v4. This time it's for Karma. Makes it a 1v3 with the shot punch. But this could be asking maybe just a little bit too much for the 3-time world champion.
Knows he has bomb down, but of course Envy, 3 players stacked up. It is just so difficult with Stim's shot to pick a player off one at a time. There's the first one, gets the kill, but again, they body stack. They were there for the trades. And Envy with another round. And Assault, by the way, another 1v1 gunfight, takes down Crim. If you think about that first map, it was the ICR for Optic Gaming, double negative. And it was Assault, double positive, or however much it actually was, and has not slowed down a single bit.
Karma did his best in the 1v4, made it a 1v2, but instantly traded out. Not much you're going to be able to do in those situations. Envy cruising through game 2 here. 3-0 the advantage. As now they go onto the defensive side of things. If you're Optic Gaming at this point, just 5 push. 5 push straight out and try and win this round.
Well, nobody's home on defense for Envy. Bomb plant being given up for free, so Envy's trusting their retake. We'll see where they put people. Of course, Hook has not yet earned that frag grenade. Bomb goes down for free, and it looks like nobody's flanking. It's going to be Athlete that was mid-map. He's wrapping back. They just want to take this 5-on-5. And you got 2 players right now for Optic, both hardcore watching the flank. So for the moment, 5v3, but the Sun's there. Optic Gaming surging for it. Kills go their way, but a team kill is there. 4v3 for Optic, though, still have that bomb down.
Yep, and that's the key. Time is ticking for Team Envious. 20 seconds. You got to get the kills and the defuse. Assault will shut down TJ. It's now a 2 versus 2. Bear in mind, I believe that's Assault very close to Streaks. May want to just play his life. Not going to be able to find the pick. Optic Gaming close out the round, get their first round win on the board.
And I think the stun grenade had to have been a big part of it, right? We're on board with the player for Envy around the pillars. A stun comes in.
It was Hook, because he was using flak, he wasn't using tag.
Gets taken down, and of course, even with the team kill coming in, off the back of the stun, just extra bodies are gonna fall for Envy. And granted, they make it interesting, but then Scump wins the one-on-one gunfight, which, talk about how good Assault's been in that category. Scump has been right there with them, just needs a little bit of help.
Definitely in this series, not so much the first series. As we'll go back to our sniper fight. We love our snipe fights, but in fact, there might not even be one. Dashi rotates over towards B. All of the boys in blue fly towards the A site. Almost the exact same thing we saw in the last round for Optic Gaming. Envy trying to do as successfully. Bomb will now be planted. Optic with all the information they need. Only this time, there's one player, Aix, who isn't inside the site.
Well, Aix got through as well. He just walked past Dashi, so Dashi's gonna shoot. Hook, by the way, again a fractional. Dashi eventually gets taken down. It helps that Aix made him one shot. And this is looking good for the retake, but not a ton of time. Crim6, the roaming man, is just worried. He's essentially stuck in a sandwich of Envy players. Huke's gonna drop him 4v2. Someone's gotta go big, and well, Karma's just gonna fall. TJ just gonna fall. Envy, another round on board.
And although Aix didn't actually get a kill, he was huge in that round for Team Envy. It's just his presence mid-map. You saw Crim was worried about it. He made a player one-shot. His teammate cleans up that kill. A really, really well-played round out of Team Envious. 4-1 now the advantage. They're looking real good here in Dallas.
I mean, this is just looking like all quiet on the green wall front. Seemingly no life for them in this series. And the only round they've gotten on board so far is Envy just trusting their ability to retake. And, well, a good stun and a couple clutch kills come their way. By the way, Dashi sitting in the Donut Club for the moment. Still trying to get on board. Assault wins another gunfight. Dashi does find his first kill. But 4v4, Optic trying to force this bomb towards B.
Small thing, but it was TJ in their search and destroy earlier on. They started off 0-7. Something you cannot have happen. Crim 1-4, Dashi 1-5 in this search here. As Aix does find a snipe kill, Scump though will trade out Apathy, so still 3 versus 3 is Scump hunting down the player of Team Envious Hook as he flies through mid-map. I don't think he's going to catch him in time. Optic, of course, still need to plant the bomb chance.
And of course, something to keep in mind, Hook and Assault both have their specialists, so if you get near Hook, you might just die, and he's going to be sitting in a cubby. He actually just picks it up now, goes for it, and finds 2. And just like that, Envy, another round on board. And Ben, they are just making it look incredibly easy.
It's too easy. It looks too easy right now. If you're on Team Envious, it's all smiles, it's giggles. They're definitely enjoying themselves here as Hook, with the grab slam, finds the final 2. On the flip side for Optic Gaming, down but not out just yet. Trailing in the series 1-0, 5-1 down here in game 2. They need the energy. That's what they need.
Need the energy. Maybe need to hit the panic button as well. Keep in mind, the only specialist on board for the moment is going to be Assault, but Scump, should he get a kill, is probably going to be very close to getting that TAC 5 as well. But that bomb going down for free. Envy, they get the setup they want. They got one guy watching the full flank, everyone else surrounding this B site.
Yeah, and I think they're actually going to escape out of this with their lives. They're going to force Optic Gaming to come to them. They have Assault with a Tempest who you assume may actually just use it this round, as well as that you have Aix with a sniper rifle looking from range. He's going to launch out the first nade, and that's going to get a kill. TJ falls, and Aix with a hit marker as well with the second shot. Tempest is now out. This is a 5 versus 4.
Scump's on bomb.
You have to check if your Team Envious. You have to check that Tempest is going to come through. The bomb. Oh, he doesn't get it. Last player is Dashi. Dashi will fall. The Tempest chained onto the diffuser of the bomb. And that is that. Team Envy stormed through Optic Gaming 6-1 here in game 2.
This is poising up to be one of the fastest series we maybe have seen on land. Envy, so far here in Fort Worth, maybe their new home state is just the place that they want to be.
Flawless so far, and not just flawless. fantastic as well to watch. Envy yet to drop a map. We're only 2 series in, but a 3-0 here could see Optic Gaming fall to the losers bracket already and cement Envious's space in the winners bracket. We'll be back after this. Team Envious 2-0 up here against Optic Gaming. And Chance, we were obviously talking a little bit about, the situation in the groups. Reciprocity versus United. That game has just begun. So we'll keep you updated with how that goes. Because if Reciprocity win that series and Envy win this series, Optic Gaming is going to lose the bracket.
Yeah, and if they lose, they're hoping reciprocity doesn't, so you might get a three-way tie, but even then it just gets weird because you got more Call of Duty to play. And then for Optic, that means pressure's on because they still have United who they play 5th. But this has been a crazy series. Like, if you had told me that Envy was beating Optic Gaming, I would have been surprised, but I would have believed you. If you had said it's like this, I would have called it crazy.
Yep, and that's exactly how it's been. You obviously talked a little bit about the stats, and you said, well, interestingly enough, the first 3 game modes do favor Team Envious somewhat. Yes, there's a kind of asterisk on some of those stats because of Optic Gaming using a sub throughout the Pro League, but either way, the first game, close at times, Envy really pulled away though, and Optic wasn't able to catch back. That search and destroy. That was brutal. That wasn't close at all.
It was a clinic from, I think, every point of view. Like, it's not even like it was coming down to insane clutches. It was just Aches winning the sniper battle, getting the first bloods consistently. The 1v1s, Assault was just a god on the map the entire time, really. And now you go into a gridlock control, but it's the map that both of these teams have played the most. But the thing is, Envy really likes gridlock, and they also really like Seaside. But that's exactly what Optic Gaming always bans. They have yet to play a Seaside control, so Envy knew going into the series, incredibly easy for them to predict, they're going to be playing on gridlock. Now the question is, what do they have cooked up to deal with Optic Gaming?
Well, we just saw Optic play reciprocity on this map. It went all the way to around 5, and it was a reverse sweep in favor of Optic Gaming. So if there's a chance for them to get some life back into this series, it is going to start here. They need strong performances out of the subs though, because that's been the fight where, let's be honest, they've just been getting outclassed. Even the AR role as well. I mean, you talk about the performances Assault's been picking up. Very, very one-sided. The one thing that me and Nameless were talking a little bit about with the way Optic Gaming play gridlock is they will never give up a point. If, for example, you see a lot of teams just give up A straight off the rip. Some even say, just take it. Optic, they're not going to do that. And sometimes it does cost them.
And if there's any coach, you have to imagine that's going to be prepared for that. Levels is at the very top of that list. But of course, hey, it could just be a situation where you get all the kills. You don't even need to worry about the strategy. And while it's ties so far, Optic Gaming trying to pour the pressure over towards B. Dashy eventually gets taken down, but kills just honestly back and forth. It looks like Envy, though, eventually just able to get that advantage.
And now I'm interested to see exactly what Envy do off spawn. Are they going to keep reinforcements over towards B, or are they going to go over towards A? Well, I think the call out is, hey guys, I still need some help. There's still a strong Optic Gaming presence as 2 players do go through A, but now everyone else is going to flank straight towards. But if you're Optic Gaming, you have to at least win some of the gunfights, and they're not able to do so. Assault picks up 3, and that's 5 dead for Optic Gaming. Envy so far with a perfect hold over towards B.
We talk about Aches being the Optic killer, Apathy being the Optic killer, but Assault, man, he's been there every time as well. Having a fantastic series. Optic, though, finally a little bit of life. They start rotating over towards A, but guess who is here? Silly's been waiting the entire time, gets dropped, but takes 2 with them. And yeah, the split push came in for a moment for Optic Gaming, gets stuffed immediately.
And it's a small point, but Silly played that so well. Even though the zone was contested, he didn't panic. He knew where the other player from Optic Gaming was and trades out his own life +1. Really good stuff right there from Silly as Optic finally do get 1 tick into A. Are Envy going to go for it? Well, a life count 16-15, advantage Optic Gaming despite the heavy slang.
And they're chalking it up there. They're going to be going for the trap. All 5 players for Optic, if not on site, are around this area. Hook is going to be dealing with Crim 6, and well, you deal with them right that. The headshot comes through, and Hook hasn't quite pushed up far enough to where he still knows that they're going to be trapped inside. They're not spawning behind him. They're going to be in front. The timing, though, doesn't go his way. Crim 6 off spawn is able to take him down, and that's honestly a huge kill for Optic Gaming to get. Just to get clearance in their base, Apathy eventually does get dropped. But now you just have to get 1 good break if you're Optic Gaming. But Aches is not making it easy.
You know, Aches pushes out, and he's going to be the first line of defense, found 1. Optic Gaming, a minute 10 on the clock to try and push through. They are now down in lives by 2 as Envy push all the way through. Hook with 2, App with 1. Hook looking for 3. He's going to challenge that. He's going to win that fight as well. No doubt in your mind. Almost double the lives now for Team Envious.
Now, of course, no respawns remaining for Optic. You got a 5v11. And we talk about how 1 good break gets you the point, but the problem is Envy, they're spread across the map, so there's no real 1 good break you can get. The kills are going to be staggered no matter what you try and do if you're Optic. And now all of a sudden you got a 3v8. You're trying to pick up kills. They're honestly doing what they can. You got 2 bodies on point. Karma's going on the flank, but someone's going to need to pick up a 2, if not a 3-piece.
And it could actually be Karma right here. The problem is Krim has already died. Karma with 1, Karma with 2, looking for more, but everybody else falls around him. Nothing he's going to be able to do in that situation. Team Envious continue where they left off. 1-0 up now in the control.
And it was just a great job by Envy. I think reading the split pushes pretty well. They're mitigating damage all over the place, and then you even have a nice little spawn trap that comes up. And honestly, the spawn for Crimsix that he got that close to Hook to take care of him gave Optic Gaming opening, but then he bounced back. Assault's picking up 2 kills. I think Ace got a 2-piece, and then Hook off respawn just comes and gets more kills. So fantastically played on defense. Very solid round again.
Heading into round number 2. Obviously no streaks at play. That's for the race of the specialist, even Stevens for the most part. Quick glance at the stats as well, nothing jumping out. Scump 3 and 7, TJ 3 and 6. We talked about the subs on the other side. Much better performance, but already you can see the pressure coming through. Hook just finessing around the B zone. They'll find one. And just going to stop that count as well.
Oh, this is beautiful plays across the board. He got a body on A for free after we talked about how Optic Gaming likes to fight it. Do they even send players over towards A? Because pressure's on B as well. One tick coming through. Ake's inside the hill. Karma you see flying high. Looks like Optic Gaming is swarming the other point. But again, because they have to swarm the B point, ticks have already come through. They got a lot of control, and they're playing forward trying to get the kills. They left Assault by himself just to rack up the time, try to get as many kills as you can.
But it gets better because now look at what Envy's going to do off spawn. Instantly fly down B Street. This consistent split pressure is going to put Optic Gaming under so much pressure themselves. The decision making has to be perfect. Scump's going to go for it over towards A. A is gone. Forget about A. Now you got to go over towards B. Crim does win that gunfight. Ace gets shut down, but you have 2 minutes 15 on the clock. Envy already with a ticket B.
And in 2 minutes, you have to imagine Hook is going to be able to get that grab slam. Assault is going to get that Tempest, and frankly, Apathy might be able to get that TAC 5 as well. So you play, get the kills, just a couple right. You might not have to worry about that point super early. You might just want to triple combo that specialist. But at the same time, if Optic Gaming just completely slays you out, shuts that one down.
Yeah, you got to shut it down completely. 4 fell for Team Envy. Now Optic Gaming, life advantage +4. Silly finds one. He's still going to try and get out your spawn. Scump beaming. There's 1. There's 2 with the help of Dashi. But Dashi does find himself another as well. So 3 for him. Life advantage at 7. Life advantage at 8 as Dashi continues his rampage. DJ flying it. Team Envious. Envy, you obviously made a great point about the specialist, but you got to get him first, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do even that. 16-7. Now the life count. Envy have to play perfect control.
Massive for Optic Gaming right now. You talk about the Tempest on one side. Dashi has his as well, but don't expect anyone to be burning anything in this round. Optic Gaming, honestly, it was beautiful play off the rip from Envy. I think they completely outsmarted their opponent. And then Optic Gaming, they just flipped the switch, and they have gone on a massive kill run.
12-3. This would be the biggest collapse you'll ever see, and you're not going to get to see it here. Optic will close this one out, and will do so comfortably. Apathy trying to assist his teammate who is trapped mid-map, but at this point, if I'm Team Envy, I just team kill. I think there's a point of even trying to clutch this up as both players do full. Optic Gaming tie things up 1-1.
And they did it in such a dominant fashion that as close as everyone from Envy was to their specialist, well, now Optic Gaming is just matching them toe-to-toe. So not only is it a good bounce-back round because you get the win, but with how dominant it was, I mean, Envy, after they get the first point over by A, just trapped in their base for the next 30, 45 seconds, then they try to push through the other side. By that time, they're in a 17v6. There's simply nothing you can do.
Oh, Dashi with the play of the round there, just pushing straight into Team Envy's spawn, stealing everything in sight. 1-1. When will we see the specialist used? On board with Dashi, TAC 5 has already been popped. There's a first blood for the round as well as Dashi does survive. Tempest is available if he wants to use it. Already pressure over towards B though is just the slaying now is really coming in for Optic.
And this is such a smart play. Normally teams split push A and B. This time they send players mid-map, so when the guys from A rotate back, they're gonna have to deal with the players on bus, which granted, dealt with, but now you already have nearly 2 ticks coming through at B, and if this second tick comes through, honestly, that's a very good play from Optic. It doesn't look like they quite got it. So it'd be a nice job on the mitigation, but now, of course, just players free and clear over towards that A point.
Problem. Grab slam for Hook. Is he going to try and invest it? Well, does. Only finds 1. Keeps it contested for now. He has to buy time for his teammates to assist as he slides back and forth. Finds 2. Goes down to the Tempest, but somehow stays alive. Is it long enough for his teammates to get there? The cavalry is coming, but how quickly? I think the answer, not quick enough. TJ should cement this A capture.
And now you got to chalk it up. If you want to try to trap him in, that's fine, but Optic, good enough job to get A. and they're able to get a life now, make it 2 advantage. Couple players mid-map, and you can see again, specialists across the board. Silly's getting close to that vision pulse, him and Krim. Again, going toe-to-toe. You're gonna have 3 on all sides. Optic Gaming, 2 players trying to, or 3, excuse me, trying to push all the way deep on the flank. Assault gets taken down. Apathy is now by himself. The opening might be here. If you take down Apathy, you make your move on the flank, there might be an opening.
And bear in mind, Krim is actually drawing 2 Envious players over towards him on the far side of the map. So you got a lot of extra pressure from Team Envious over towards the B zone. That 2v1 has lasted a very long time as Aix is trying to shut down Krim. Krim has done such a good job of finessing as long as he did, but he does finally fall. What was Optic able to do whilst that was going on at the backside while they push forward? Not able to get any further progression towards B. Instead, 15-15 life count. A lot of specialists available to use. And honestly, it may be getting to that point where, yep, there it is. War Machine out for Aix. That's going to connect with Dashi. What else can he find?
At the very least, he's going to find a ton of pressure for the team. Optic Gaming, you got 1 player. Backs all the way up, just trying to stay alive, and a lot of players going for mid. Aix blew up a car or a barrel on the map somewhere, gets a hit marker. Dashi clears him out. So that's War Machine gone, and only a life advantage for Envy, who, by the way, you got Optic Gaming, Crim6, nearly at the Vision Pulse. They got everything.
And that was going to say, now it's Optic Gaming's turn. You have Envy invest a few things here. Optic with an opening now. They may not even need to. Could potentially try and save it if they want. Grab some available for Karma as they pre-fire over towards Hook. Hook will fall. Now it's Ace's turn. He will fall. Karma's starting to heat things up here with the ICR. 3 in a row for the 3rd time. And Envy are going to have a whole lot of problems trying to break over towards B. As Karma looking for 4. Gonna find 4 as well. Make it number 5. Ooh, almost. But stays alive. And it seems like a little bit of an energy shift with this Optic Gaming squad now.
And I like the call from TJ. At the end, it doesn't matter if it seems like you have the advantage. Pull out the War Machine, get the guarantee. Because you already know the Aix burn his, so the War Machine's down on the other side, and you call that just a scrap even. So now, of course, you're gonna have the Vision Pulse on either side of things, and I think, well, Dash uses Tempest, Assault still has his, and then Karma's sitting on the grab slam. But you got 2 big boy specialists on either side, and if all things are even, and Optic Gaming has the lead, they got to be feeling maybe not comfortable, but confident.
Again, it was this map earlier on in the day. Optic complete a reverse sweep on it. Take it 3-2. Now they find themselves in the driving seat, if you will. 2-1 up. Pressure over towards A. Karma does have the grab slam. If he wants to fly in towards A, he could cause all sorts of problems. Really, it's on him to try and fend off the first wave of attack from the boys in blue. Flies through, only finds 1, still contested, but he's gonna find the 2nd with his gun. Karma is on a rampage right now, 100 points, and he gets himself a lightning as well. He should, if he stays on the zone, get the depletion points, but no, he ran off just a second too soon.
And while that's going on, it's a foot race back over towards B. The Vision Pulse is gonna be used from Crim6. Optic Gaming down. Crim6, by the way, himself was able to earn streaks. That just goes under the radar. TJ's able to pick up 2, and Optic Gaming stopped the push at B. The split push is in, but you got streaks, you got kills, you got a 9 life advantage.
But Envy, they are on A. Don't get too carried away just yet as a streak comes through. 2 kills for Hook. Envy are down, but by no means out just yet. A will be completely capped. There's 2 minutes on the clock with 1 tick of progression over towards B. Life advantage 25-17. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough. But we know how Gridlock can go. We know how that B zone can be. 1 clean wipe, and you can get that trip kept very, very easily.
And one of the biggest things to keep in the back of your mind, Assault still with the Tempest. He is going to pull it out at some point. You are down by 7 lives. You are praying for the push. Envy, they got 2 players swinging all the way around the map, which they're picking up some kills. Scump at the moment in the back by himself. He's feeling the pressure. The rest of his team dealing with up front, but now you got to deal with everything from everywhere, and this might be it. You might have to use the Tempest in this situation because Optic Gaming picking up quite a few kills in the front.
Oh, but you also have a situation where Assault's 200 off streaks. He's trying to play the spawns, and he's played it perfectly, and he's pulled out the Tempest. Optic, I said they could be in some trouble, and well, the life count now just at 4. Assault still roaming around. He's going to connect with another one. Scump's going to go down. That's 2 streaks earned for Assault. Optic, they have to deal with him at the back of the map. Meanwhile, pressure's coming through at the front of the hill. Keep that in mind as Assault now scurrying over towards his teammates. Knows a couple plays over towards 18, tried to turn on Dashi. Won't be able to do so. Meanwhile, Optic have won the fights inside the zone. 11-6 the life count, but does Assault use the streaks?
Yeah, you have to. You got to be patient. You got to make sure no one falls. You're playing playing for the streak to maybe get a kill. You're going to force him inside, and that's when Envy has to strike. He's able to get one. He knows 2 players are in Sushi, and the other guy's nowhere near the hill. It's going to be a foot race, but Dashy and TJ able to pick up 3 kills apiece and assault in the hill, make it last man standing, and Optic Gaming get 1 kill, win the game, and force that map number 4.
Eggs will survive for now. He has 45 seconds to do the impossible.
It's beyond hopeless, Ben. There's no point in selling
If there was a person on this planet that would do it, it would be this man.
I mean, would it though?
Yes. Spray your chickens. Eggs, you need more than chickens if you're gonna have any chance of doing that. Scump seals the deal. Optic stay alive, but they have a mountain to climb, and they want to try and complete this reverse sweep. That was a much better game 3 control out of them. All of a sudden, it felt as if in round 2, you felt the tempo switch. You felt the energy of the Optic Gaming squad start to come through. The slaying that we haven't seen so far here at Dallas just hit the boys in blue like a train. That's everything for myself and Chance. We'll now throw it over to the analyst desk to find out what is going on elsewhere in the tournament.
Thank you so very much. And we are looking at Bravo now, where Reciprocity is up over E-United.
They made a comeback in that first map. United was definitely ahead throughout the major portion of that middle part of that map, and Reciprocity came back. We're seeing a lot from that sub-duo. It's extremely impressive.
But again, they are coming off that big win against Optic earlier in the day.
Yeah, and it was just the Dylan show, right? Like, everybody played great on the side of Reciprocity, but Dylan and Zed to me just stood out so much, especially Dylan with the addition of him. It's, you know, that aggression and the amount of engagements they get in is just unreal. It provides so much just pressure, and allows you to just play that much better in response.
And this win, if Reciprocity can get it, will definitely make a difference, because you do have Optic and Envy in that pool as well.
They'll make it through winners if they win this. If they win this match. Nobody predicted that. No one. Not even Phil.
Expect the unexpected.
Listen, I might be the only European on this desk. However, even I didn't expect Reciprocity to come out like this. The addition of Dylan, I spoke to Tommy before. I was kind of asking him, and this before the event was, you know, why was the change made? You know, why was this kind of decided? I spoke to Denz as well, and they just felt like they needed something different. And I completely agree with him. The addition of someone like Dylan, who automatically gels with the whole squad, but also brings, like Nicholas said, like a lot of firepower. It is something which is very rare in such a young talent. So I think they've made the right choice. It sucks for someone like Denz, obviously, but it seems to be gelling with them. And obviously, what better way to start off your Fort Worth than beating Optic Gaming? You know, that gives you all the fire going forward into games like this. They're already 1-0.
And of course, anyone unfamiliar with that beautiful voice gracing our desk, that is, of course, Momo coming to hang out with us for a little bit.
Glad to be here.
I mean, they picked
We
up
love
Dylan
to have you.
because Dylan is godlike.
Yeah, Dylan's just an amazing player. I said it immediately that I was surprised that he wasn't like the first person after Priesthood to be picked up after the PLQ. He proved it at Vegas and the PLQ that he was just an incredible talent, someone that needed to be picked up. Reciprocity got him.
Yeah, I watched Reciprocity play this map earlier against Optic Gaming, and they kind of played the wrap back game. They would show face at a bomb site, wrap to the other bomb, and they'd re-wrap back to the original one, and kind of just play a lot of mind games with the opposing team. And they seem to be pretty good at it, but United is thus far just crushed them here. And United, after that first game that they had, the first showing against Envy, like, they need to pick up a win soon, especially after the turmoil they had sort of in that, you know, small little roster movement period. United needs to pick up a win here just for the sake of chemistry and just vibe purposes going into the rest of this tournament.
I was actually casting during their game. I came backstage. I was like, you know, what's going on with the scores? And the fact it was like one of the only 3-0s that have gone down. I've seen so many game 5s, and it just seemed like they got shut down instantly. And then come into this and kind of lose their first map as well. It takes a lot to kind of go another 5 games straight away to even push this. And it seems like obviously got around on the board straight away that, you know, they have that, and they definitely have the capability. Someone like a BZ, again, much like Dylan, the newest player, shall we say, on a United, but just packs a punch, and again, so young, so talented. Well, Reciprocity, can they be stopped right now? They're just looking on form, and for me, this is where they can prevail, is their search and destroy. The addition of Dylan is where they can really up their game.
Yeah, they were already so good at search. Adding Dylan's only gonna make it better, right?
Now, you can continue watching here Reciprocity and E-United on the Bravo stream, but we are ready to head over back with Alpha, Ben, and Chance. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you very much, Desk, as well. You guys are killing it so far here today. But as it stands, Optic Gaming down 2-1. Obviously, you see Reciprocity. That was the game I said, keep your eye out if you're an Optic Gaming fan, because you You're gonna need to. You're gonna need to pray, if this doesn't go your way, that E United is able to somehow come back into that series. Stands Reciprocity with the advantage, but we head over towards a Hacienda hardpoint chance, and statistically, between these two, was there a stat that jumped out when you were doing your research?
I mean, if you just purely look at that head-to-head, I think this is the first time where Optic Gaming has really had a clear-cut advantage on Hacienda. 6-2 for Optic, 5-3 for Envy.
Okay.
So you talk about the best advantage they really had, and it's not by a huge amount, but then again, nothing in this series really has been. You talk about the opening break, I think like 6 kills came in within a second of each other, but Optic get the advantage. They do not get the spawns to next, but this is a hill where it's very possible to hold it from the front. And while Optic Gaming, ton of pressure over towards Lambo.
Team Envious, it's about staying alive and buying time for your teammates to rotate. Keep your eye on Assault, that number 10. He's trying to hit mid-map. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates have spawned at the back, but it doesn't matter. Optic Gaming go through small stairs, and they will break straight into this hill. A much better start for Optic Gaming. However, it's not over just yet. Hoop flies in, that's 2 for him. One more at the front. He's gonna challenge straight off the rib. Krim deep over towards Rock. Will shut down Hoop, but 35 seconds is big time here for Team Envious.
He has a big flank coming in from Assault to help get the clearance, alleviate some of the pressure, and that's when the back spawns are just overpowered because, well, you're just going to be the hill an extra 5-10 seconds sooner, but the nade's actually going to take down Hook. That's going to get TJ on top of the car, and, well, Ake's last man. Well, he's going to have to wait for a little bit of support to come in. It's going to be silly. Dashy, though, is able to pick up 2. And that's the gunfight for the scrap time. And that's a big final 1v1 because that's a 20-point swing if Dashy doesn't win that. But instead, they're going to have a very solid lead going into next where, well, they're at the very least fighting for that rotation. Crim6 does take one down before he gets dropped. Well, now TJ is going to have to wait for some reinforcements, but does get dropped. The SMGs right now, Envy trying to pick it up just a little bit.
Well, a glance over at Assault, who's just been unreal so far here in Dallas, and specifically in this this series as well. Currently at 5-5 as Envy finally get a foothold in this game. It was definitely Optic Gaming coming away at the start, at least, looking very, very strong. Now, though, Envy on fences, looking to try and get at least 50 seconds plus worth of time. One more push towards Assault's right. Nice. Easy work of Scum. Last player connector, another 5 dead. If you're Optic Gaming, where are you going to spawn over towards the back? You got to be careful because you can get spawn killed by Aches. There's one heal. Can he get away from TJ? Yes, he can. Good stuff from Team Envy.
Perfect, literally perfect. I mean, you go for the retake on the hill to try to help win that rotation battle. You basically get a clean 5 down. You spawn them out. They come back, another clean 5 down. And again, nice lead for Optic Gaming at the start. All of a sudden, Envy just extends it to 20, and they're going for the pinch. They got 2 players over by Lambo. The rest of the players up in top hallway. Dash is able to get a player weak. Can't drop him in time because Silly jumped up through the water. And while there's only like 1 player left for Optic inside the hill, and it's going to be Scump. And while he's getting flanked and stunned.
But Karma quickly with a flank of his own nullified all the resources from Team Envy over towards Lambo. Dashy's there to help. Optic Gaming have stayed alive inside the hill, and it's been Scump, like you mentioned, just sat milking all of the time. But now the challenge comes through for Team Envious. 2 players, 3 players go down, 4 players go down as Aches picks up 3 of them. Krim desperately trying to stay alive, buy a little bit of time for his teammates as the hill is contested once again. Aches scrambles away. He's probably playing for some streaks. That's why he's going to pull out the War Machine. That's going to find 1. Can he find number 2? Mid-hallway, yes he can. Lightning strike earned.
Doesn't even kill himself on the way. Just needs 1 EKIA. Just needs everybody. Hey, stack up around me. We need to go for this hill. Or hey, just get the hill time. But now his teammates got to protect him for 10, 15 seconds, and the kills all come in. The TAC 5 is going to be there.
Gotta leave.
Well, he's feeling the pressure. He's going to leave, dip out towards Connector. Well, no gunfights for him quite yet, and his team's still in the hill.
And if you're Aches, all you have to do is watch Connector and just jiggle the hill. If someone from Optic jumps in, that's when you go for the challenge. You don't need to do anything too crazy, but he's going to challenge up top, and he will get the Hellstorm anyway. Envy looking good. As Apathy with streaks as well. All of a sudden, they have found themselves well and truly back in this game. It all started at fences, a beautiful 60-second hold, good rotation and some good split time at Rock, but with Apathy and Aches, with 2 streaks each, if you're Optic Gaming, this Lambo hill is so important. You need another perfect hole.
I mean, you could use them liberally. Like, you just go for the rotation over here. You can let them stack up in Lambo, because even inside the hill, you can still take at least one, if not two players down with the lightning strike, unless they all bunch up in the side door. So a lot of potential for here for Envy to try to run up this score. Optic are spawning in the back. First Hellstorm gets called in. It's able to find two. Karma by himself in the hill, can only get one with him.
Optic spawning out. They're going to have to traverse over towards that hill. Scump with a gunfight at the back. Aches is there to assist now for Envy. If they're able to turn this into a money hill with the streaks that they still have, oh boy, they could spiral this game out of control. It's TJ with a team kill. Silly still in the hill. He will fall. Does have War Machine, but now you're going to see him use it here with 28 seconds left. I'd be surprised as he slides in, especially knowing there was a trophy right there. The beatdown, it goes in Silly's favor. This game's starting to get a little bit out of control here for Optic Gaming.
I was going to say, TJ, I think almost certainly wanted to use the War Machine there, but double trophies inside the hill for Envy. They are having none of it.
Yep.
But a couple streaks do get burned, but you got to imagine, last time over by fences, didn't need the streaks. Got about 50 seconds on the hill. It was as clean as you could possibly get it, and now you got double lightning strike to help you with the break. Optic Gaming, they're going to just need to be beyond on point to help this out.
And Optic spawning Lambo because of the so many different ways Envy is trying to push up towards this hill. Karma actually gets a triple with a grab slam. Oh, he stops the pinch. And now all of a sudden for Envious, you still have one lightning, but what seemed to be a very simple break is made that little bit more difficult as Karma starts to heat up.
Karma is the GOAT, and Paradox is a god for that angle. Envy, though, trying to force it in the front. They might be able to get a little bit of contest time, but Crim's able to pick up two. You got TJ in the hill. Karma picking up more kills going on the flank, and they are right back in this game.
It all comes down to Karma. If he gets streaks here as well, that'd be absolutely massive for Optic Gaming. And how is Envy going to play it? Almost a tied game, 149, 145 with 9 seconds left. Optic will take the lead once again here in Hacienda. But can they close it out? Can they force a game 5?
And Silly's using the Vision Pulse. He wants to get that rotation coming in, and right now they got the full setup, and they know exactly where all the pressure is going to come through. They're trying to hunt down Karma as well, but the Vision Pulse actually gets returned. Crim calls his in. After with the lightning strike, he's just trying to stay alive. 110. And I think the Vision Pulse is gone, and he does get dropped by none other than Assault.
But it's not over yet, because Dashy's still alive, and Dashy gets 2, Dashy gets 3. Tempest available, he could even pull it out if he wants to, but there's number 4. It's given to him on a platter. 300 points for streaks for him now, with 28 seconds. Optic Gaming again about to go back into the lead as the War Machine reigns over above Dashy. TJ spamming it in. Envious, it's gonna be so hard to push this.
I mean, this is 4 streaks gone for Envy. The lead is no longer theirs. He gets dropped, but do they need him? TJ falls as well. Envy able to return to sender. And while they're going to have all but a 10-point lead, Ben, yeah,
not a lot.
Have to imagine they were in a much better spot, but maybe Assault wants to get some streaks of his own. But honestly, does it even make a difference?
We'll wait and see. The final rotation of hills. Crim up top. Assault will go down. You don't have to worry about streaks for him. Meanwhile, up top, it's Karma, who really has started to come to life. His stat line doesn't show it at 21 and 20, but the past few sequences of events, the past few hills, are the reason why Optic Gaming are still in this game, and Envy haven't been able to run away with it. Hill still neutral for now. 30 seconds left. Envy jumping to life, and it's Apathy who gets himself a double and has the TAC 5 boost for this rotation.
Those are clean kills as well. He might just be waiting for Aches potentially to pair it up with the War Machine, because we talked about how early Aches used his. Well, you get towards the end of the game, you can use it again. The TAC 5 comes in, and they are desperate for this next rotation. And should they get it, they might very well get the game.
And that's such an important kill, because it means Optic Gaming now will be spawning out. How much damage can Envy do here on Lambo? There's still 1 player from Optic Gaming, 2 players in fact still in there. Scump is going to be one of them. Aches does have that War Machine, but for now Optic are still inside the hill. Aches trying to buy time, slides in, needs to win the first fight, does so. Will he find the second? No, he won't. Hardpoint still contested. Karma jumps out of water. He's springing around, just trying to stay alive, but the reinforcements for Optic Gaming are coming, and they're coming very, very quickly through the front. Envy still with a favorable spawn. Dashy now, he's forced to use the Tempest. War Machine out for Aches as well. Envious are in the hill, but they cannot cannot win it here.
Well, honestly, you could just lightning strike him as well if you want to guarantee the final 30 seconds, because everyone's flooding from the outside, but maybe the Apathy just wants to save it towards fences. They have a massive lead, Ben. They can do whatever they want, including winning it here. 20 points away. That's exactly how much is on the clock, but Optic Gaming breakthrough. They will see at least one more hill.
And you have Tech 5 boost now for Scump. Probably want to win this gunfight and then pop it for his teammates who have to rotate. Yep, that's the play. It's going to put him close to streaks.
Go, leave.
110.
This time doesn't matter. You gotta go. Apathy's got the lightning for the next. Eventually he dips out, but 20 points away. They're gonna be there first. The pinch is gonna be in, but you gotta win these gunfights quickly. Aches is able to take one with them.
You gotta use it.
Called in, kill the players in the back. Get more, do what you need. Scump looking for huntout kills, and Uke is gonna shut him down.
How important will that kill be? Apathy, he's going to use his lightning strike. What is it going to find? Just one. It's Dashy. Now the hardpoint contested. Karma has a grab slam as well. Bear that in mind. Scump returns the favor of the streaks. 235, 2-on-2. Tempest out. Tempest shut down as well. No good for us all as TJ runs through App. Optic Gaming at it again, making comebacks in hardpoint. But again, they still have to rotate. They cannot win it here, and Envy can if they push.
Well, they're gonna have to deal with a lot. Krim is able to pick up two. We're seeing the next hill and Karma. We know he's the man to watch. He's got the grab slam, and he's the only one with the specialist. Basically a tied game, Ben. Next hill, and look at all those blue arrows. Stacks up inside the hill. They are waiting for the grab slam.
It's him. This is his moment. This is why you're a 3-time world champ. Do you even need to use it just yet? If you're able to break in and then you can maybe use it as players, try and push through. Apathy will go down. Optic Gaming with control. Streaks for TJ. He's going to find a couple completely free kills. Envious were in the driving seat the whole time. More streaks for TJ. He's going to make it rain. 240, 245. Pressure coming through. Karma still has to grab somebody. Loses the gunfight. It was App with one. TJ still alive. Pressure coming through mid, and Envy survived for now.
You gotta go. No one's inside the hill. Envy 4 points away. Contest is here. Crimson's gonna fall. It's Karma able to pick up one, but he's gonna fall. Envy winning the gunfight. TJ dead, and Envy still 4 points away. Contest forever.
It's still contested. Finally, Envy with control. They need 3 more seconds. The kills come through. Ace with a triple. The War Machine reigns in, and Envy clutch up right at the very last moment. You thought it was going to happen. You thought Optic was going to force a game 5. Team Envy had other ideas.
The last time most of these players faced each other on LAN, it was this current Envy team that forced them into the, well, not the losers bracket, the tournament elimination. And well, Envy may be repeating history, putting Optic in an incredibly tough spot.
Now, the only thing that matters if you're an Optic Gaming fan is, ironically enough, your rivals United beating Reciprocity. You got to get behind Clay and the boys, because if Rec win that, Envy goes through, Rec goes through, Optic goes to the losers bracket.
And even if you get a little bit of help, you still got to win the gun or the match at the end as well. So it's an uphill battle where Optic needs a lot of luck on their side during it.
Well, here's a look at the final sequence of events, and this was absolute chaos. The scuff play of the game, kills left and right, and it's around about there you think, okay, well, Optic just got 3 dead, surely this is it. Assault gets a double, but Karma grab slams. Little does he know, there's one more player behind him, that's Huke. Bear in mind at this point, 246, 242. There's 12 seconds left on the hill, everybody is just flying. Ace gets 2, he ultimately finds 3. The War Machine comes through as well, doesn't have too much of an effect, but Ace pops the triple to seal the deal for Team Envies.
And you know what? Optic had that in their hands, right? You got TJ calls in the Hellstorm, and when he pinged the lightning, I think he should have been able to see that there was 3 players up in the hallways out middle of the map, and that's perfect for Karma. You get the grab slam on players coming through the door, but you talk about one of the most chaotic situations you were ever gonna see, and that chaos lasted for 60, 70, 80 seconds. That is as nutty of a hardpoint game as you're going to see.
The entire final hill
was ridiculous.
Just contest fest.
Even from Lambo, honestly. Optic had their back against the wall, had to force that final break. They get the crash. It helps with streaks here and there. It's an incredible game, and Envy, of course, coming out on top, looking phenomenal so far in Fort Worth.
I mean, they've lost 1 map. That is it.
you told me that before the event, I would have called you crazy myself, but Envious are in the driver's seat here at Fort Worth. As I said, really the big game that you need to keep your eye on is that United Reciprocity game. We'll be back after this.
Optic fall to Team Envy and Aches in a crazy, crazy ending there on Alpha. We are back, of course, on the desk. I'm your host, KB Bedford, joined by Nameless, Pac-Man, and Momo. Momo, what was that? We're gonna pull up a replay here in a second at the end.
I mean, first things first, what a game. What a series we've just seen already. But Optic Gaming, again, clearly seeing that they are beatable. You know, we saw obviously the performance at Vegas. And for me, yes, you can kind of talk about Aches and Paddy P doing what he always does. Even Apathy was kind of the, you know, the kryptonite, if you like, to Optic Gaming for a long time. But it's just the consistency. Players that go under the radar, your Assault, your Silly, these are the guys that are putting those numbers up alongside your Hughes that are just showing consistency. Again, I think specialist use was key towards the end of the game, but this actual half point was so back and forward, it was incredible.
Last hit was insane.
Before we talked about had people caught up to Optic Gaming yet at this point. Clearly they have. That was nasty, by the way. That was nasty. We have to figure out what happened here. I know it gets incredibly hectic. Damon ends up grab slamming one player and gets traded instantly. After that, it's chaos.
It was chaos, but there was a moment where Optic pretty much like blew it, and they let Assault get a 2-piece. If Assault doesn't get this 2-piece with the ICR, I firmly believe Optic run away with this game.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was Krim that slid at him.
Yeah, Envy was spawning out mid-U, so I think it's right here where Envy break back in, they get a couple kills, and then Assault ends up having to get a 2-piece. Right here gets one, and he turns around and he kills Krim. So if Krim kills him, Damon gets to keep that grab slam, and he uses it on Hook over there, pushing in from the fountain.
Where does Ace come from here? Does he jump up from water, or does he just run up the left side? He gets a 3-piece here, which ultimately decides the game.
It was chaos.
It's pure
nevertheless,
chaos.
if Assault doesn't get that 2-piece of the ICR, I think they close that game out right there, and we see a possible game 5. But throughout that series, like, Envy just played amazing, and we were playing the waiting game with the Envy roster. Like, we were waiting for players on this team to step up, like Aches, like Apathy, to become consistent, and they did it right there with Hook,
Aches
with
just
Silly,
dropped 7,000 damage.
and Assault all playing good. Like, that's what Envy's capable of, and that's what we were waiting for.
Yeah. Also